Bismillahir-Rahmanir-Rahim. Assalamu alaikum, gentlemen. I welcome you to the first video of the series of online lectures. My name is Nadeem Ali and I will be teaching you English. Now, without any further delay, let us talk about the serious business at hand. Well, gentlemen, in this slide, I am going to give you a breakdown of syllabus and distribution of marks. You are required to please note it down in your neat copies because this is going to give you an idea that what aspects of your syllabus you need to focus on and why. The English syllabus for first year comprises of two books, Book 1 and Book 3. Book 1 comprises of short stories and there are 4 main questions that come from this book. The first question is of translation. It carries 15 marks. Second question is of short answers. It carries 12 marks. Third question is of your vocabulary. We also call it synonyms. It carries 10 marks. And the fourth question is punctuation. So in all, this book carries 42 marks out of 100 marks. So this actually gives you an idea of the importance of Book 1. Now coming to Book 3, it comprises of 2 parts, plays and poetry. There will be 2 questions from plays portion. First question of course would be of short answers and it carries 10 marks, and second question is of MCQs and it carries 5 marks. The second portion of Book 3 comprises of poetry and there are 20 poems in your syllabus. There will be 2 questions from this portion. First question of course again is of short answers. It carries 8 marks. And the second question is explanation with reference to context. It carries 5 marks. In all, Book 3 carries 28 marks. Well, gentlemen, this slide carries questions that will be there in your paper from grammar's portion. In this portion, the first question will be application writing or letter writing, which carries 10 marks. The second question is of story writing. It also carries 10 marks, and these are same old stories that you have been studying, reading and writing and memorizing from your childhood. Third question is of sentence making from pair of words. It carries 5 marks, and the last question is about the correct use of verb form. It carries 5 marks also. So the grammar portion carries 30 marks in all. Now you can see Book 1 carries 42 marks, Book 3 carries 28 marks, and both these books carry 70 marks altogether, and the grammar portion carries 30 marks, and this is how you get your aggregate of 100 marks. This actually gives you an outlook of your syllabus and the distribution of marks. You are supposed to note it down in your neat notebooks. This will help you a lot in preparing particular aspect of your syllabus. Well, gentlemen, it's time to get going with our story. Are you ready? Well, the title of the story is Button Button. It is written by Richard Matheson. There are three characters in the story. Arthur Lewis, who is the protagonist in the story and playing the role of husband of our second character, Norma. And the third character of the story is Mrs. Stewart, who is an agent representing an international organization. Well, students, इससे पहले कि हम लेसन शुरू करें, मैं आपको रिमाइंड करवाना चाहता हूँ कि कॉलेज की तरफ से एक हैंडआउट आपके ग्रुप में शेयर किया गया है जिसमें आपकी रिस्पॉन्सिबिलिटी फ़िक्स की गई है, और वो ये है कि हर वीक के एंड पर आप असाइनमेंट की एक सॉफ्ट कॉपी अपने टीचर के साथ शेयर करेंगे और इसी असाइनमेंट की एक हार्ड कॉपी रिप्रोड्यूस करेंगे और इसे कॉलेज डिस्पैच करेंगे। अगर आप अपनी ये ज़िम्मेदारी पूरी करने में नाकाम रहते हैं तो आपकी ये नेग्लिजेंस आपके पेरेंट्स को रिपोर्ट की जाएगी। आने वाली स्लाइड्स में कंप्लीट स्टोरी आपके साथ शेयर की जा रही है ताकि किसी स्टूडेंट के पास ये एक्सक्यूज़ ना हो कि उसके पास बुक अवेलेबल नहीं थी। एट द एंड ऑफ द स्टोरी देयर विल बी कपल ऑफ असाइनमेंट्स जो कि इस तरह प्लान की गई हैं कि सिर्फ वही स्टूडेंट्स इनको कर पाएंगे जो कि लेसन को थारोली गो थ्रू करेंगे। द फर्स्ट असाइनमेंट रिक्वायर्स यू टू प्रोड्यूस द वन लाइनर आंसर्स टू द गिवन क्वेश्चंस, और दूसरी असाइनमेंट लेसन में इस्तेमाल होने वाले उन अल्फाज के मुतल्लिक़ है जो कि मे बी आपके लिए नए भी हैं और वो एग्ज़ामिनेशन पॉइंट ऑफ व्यू से भी बहुत इम्पॉर्टेंट हैं। इस असाइनमेंट में आपने दिए गए अल्फाज के इक्विवेलेंट वर्ड्स, जिनको हम इंग्लिश में सिनोनिम्स भी कहते हैं, को पहले स्टेप में याद भी करना है और दूसरे स्टेप में उन्हीं अल्फाज को अपनी सॉफ्ट और हार्ड कॉपी में रिप्रोड्यूस भी करना है। मैं उम्मीद करता हूँ कि आपको ये सारी बात समझ आ गई होगी, and I look forward to a positive response in this regard. Dear students, now I would like to give you a brief overview of this story. As I have already told you in one of the previous slides that there are only three characters in the story: Arthur Lewis, Norma, and Mr. Stewart. Arthur Lewis and Norma are playing as husband and wife, so quite naturally they have been living together for quite a long time. Mrs. Stewart intrudes their life and comes with an attractive offer. Mr. Arthur Lewis rejects the offer straight away, but Norma feels intrigued and attracted towards the offer. She could not resist the offer despite knowing that her husband does not want her to accept the offer. She accepts it and pushes the button as was required by the offer. And in doing so, she happens to kill her own husband. What the author wanted to say is that living together is one thing and knowing each other is another. Well, students, here is the one-liner questionnaire that I did refer to in one of the previous slides while explaining the importance of homework. I do hope that you must have gone through the whole story thoroughly, because these answers are not possible if you have not gone through it. And if you have not gone through the story so far, I would ask you to go through it now, because without reading the whole story you will not be able to answer these questions, and these questions, remember my words, are very, very important. So here we begin with our first question. Question number 1 is, where was the package lying? I repeat, where was the package lying? Question number 2, what was the address of Mr. and Mrs. Lewis? Question number 3, which city Arthur and Norma were living in? Number 4, what time Mrs. Stewart will call on them? Number 5, where was Mrs. Stewart standing? Number 6, what did Norma think of Mr. Stewart? Question number 7 is, where did Arthur take Mrs. Stewart to? Question number 8 is, where did Mrs. Stewart sit? Question number 9 is, what was the offer? Question number 10, who did Mrs. Stewart represent? Question number 11, where did Mrs. Stewart place his card? Question number 12, what did Arthur do with the card? Question number 13 is, where did Norma put the card halves? Question number 14, what was written on the card? Question number 15, at what time did Norma call Mr. Stewart? Question number 16, where was the key of the button unit? Question number 17, where did she throw the button unit? And question number 18 is, which hospital did she receive the call from? Well, gentlemen, in this slide and the slide that follows, we are going to take up the MCQs. I think we should begin now. You are required to either encircle the right option or mark it. Question number 1 is, where did Norma put the lamb chops? Option A is in the oven, B in the broiler, C in the freezer, D in the basket. The right option is in the broiler. Question number 2, there was a small man in the porch, B in the room, C at the door, and D in the hallway. Option D is correct, so you need to encircle it, in the hallway. Question number 3, where was the key to the bell unit door? Option A is in the box, B in the drawer, C in the sealed envelope, D in the pocket. So the right option is option C, in the sealed envelope. What was the reward for pushing the button? $25,000, $50,000, $5,000, or $2,500? The right option is $50,000, which is option B. What was the question of Norma that made Mr. Stewart embarrassed? Number 1. Where do you live? How do you do? What do you sell? And D. Who do you represent? Option D is correct. Who do you represent? Question number 6. What could have happened by pushing the button? Option A. Somewhere in the world a bird would die. Someone would die in the neighborhood. C. Some songs would be heard. D. Somewhere in the world some unknown person would die. Option D is correct. Somewhere in the world some unknown person would die. Number 7. Why did not Arthur agree to the offer of Mr. Stewart for pushing the button? He considered it a practical joke. B. He did not rely on him. C. He considered the death of some unknown person a murder. D. He did not believe him. Option C is absolutely correct, because he considered the death of some unknown person a murder. Question number 8. Why was the offer of $50,000 attractive for Norma? Option A. She had planned to improve her life. B. She felt no harm in helping someone to conduct a psychological research. C. She wanted to purchase a set of jewelry. D. She wanted to buy a new house. Option A is correct, because she had planned to improve her life. Question number 9. Who in Norma's opinion was the researcher? Option A psychiatrist. B. A doctor. C. An eccentric millionaire. D. A murderer. Option C is correct. He considered that an eccentric millionaire might be doing it for some research project. Question number 10 is, why did not Norma take the consent of her husband to comply with the instructions of Mr. Stewart? Option A. He considered he could not understand the idea. B. He would share the offer. C. He considered it a murder. D. He considered it immoral to kill someone unknown person for the sake of money. Option C is absolutely correct. He considered it a murder. Now the second question is, mark the statements true or false. In this question you have to write true or false against the statement. If you think it's correct, you will write true, and if you think it's false, you will write the word false against it. The statement number 1 is, Norma found the carton in front of her door as she arrived home. This statement is correct. Number 2. Norma believed that Mrs. Stewart was a guest. No, it is false. She thought that he was a salesman, so it is a false statement. Statement number 3 is, Mr. Stewart took out a key and opened the box for Arthur. No, this is a false statement. He did not do anything with it. Number 4. Arthur and Norma have the same reaction to Mrs. Stewart's proposition. No, this is again a false statement. They had different reactions towards it. Number 5. Norma could not resist calling Mr. Stewart back. Yes, true. She did call him back. Number 6. Norma did not agree with Mr. Stewart to have the butter unit brought back. Yes, this option is right. Number 7. Arthur said he believed that Mr. Stewart's offer was a genuine one. No, this is a false statement. Number 8. Norma wants Arthur to understand that she is interested in the proposition because the money would help the two of them. Yes, this statement rather is correct. Number 9. Arthur could accept participating along with Norma if they were part of a research project. This statement is incorrect. It is false because Arthur could never have thought of participating in it because he considered the murder of a person an immoral act and a crime. Statement number 10 is Norma called Mr. Stewart after she learned of Arthur's death. No, this statement is false. It was not Norma who called Mr. Stewart, rather it was the other way around. Mr. Stewart called Miss Norma. That concludes our first lesson. I hope you would have picked up the required things. I want to make it clear once again at the end that these things are being shared with you in the shape of notes. They will go directly into your notebooks, and at the end of the year you will have all the notes recorded or jotted down in 1 or 2 registers, and from there you can learn each and everything given in your syllabus. You will not be in need of any helping book or guidebooks. So dear students, I do hope that your response will be a source of encouragement for us, and it is also going to help you prepare in your syllabus with time at your hand. Thank you.